All right, let's get into it. Post-fight Mayweather Maidana. First off, I got to say that I think this was actually a really great fight, very entertaining. It seems like nowadays, these boxing fights seem like they get so short. They go so fast. Like, 12 rounds doesn't even seem like 12 rounds. It seems more like 6 rounds. It just goes so fast nowadays. I felt like that actually about the Pacquiao Bradley fight. But anyways, let's get into this fight. First off, I think it was a great performance by Marcos Maidana. Marcos Maidana, to me, he's got nothing to be ashamed of. You clearly saw at the end of the fight, he was, laughing around, joking, and what made me really proud and glad was the fact that everybody, all his fans, really truly accepted him at the end of the fight. The camaraderie was there. Um, to all his fans, it seemed like for them he didn't lose, and to me, that's what it's all about. You know what I'm saying? I was just, at the end of the day, I just want to see a competitive fight. You know what I'm saying? Regardless who wins or loses. And Maidana, this loss to him, it didn't even really seem like it affected him at all. We've seen fighters in the past, they take losses very serious. You could clearly see that Canelo, when he lost to Mayweather, he took it real serious. But Maidana, this loss didn't really it didn't really affect him at all because if you really think about it, he had nothing to lose, everything to gain. You know what I'm saying? So I take my hat off to Marcos Maidana, man. He did really good in this fight. I scored this fight 116-113 for Mayweather. I thought Mayweather edged it out by, really close. I'm pretty sure a lot of people are going to disagree. I could clearly understand some people's frustration. Some people thought Mayweather actually lost the fight. Um, the truth of the matter is, there was a lot of close rounds. It's just one of those fights that was really close. You know what I'm saying? Everybody's going to have their own, opinions on it. Anytime there's a close fight. You know what I'm saying? You're always going to hear different things no matter what. You know what I'm saying? You know, End of the day, Maidana did his thing. He made it a rough, rugged, tough fight. He did what he had to do. It's just, to me, it just wasn't close enough. This was clearly one of Floyd Mayweather's most difficult fights because he didn't look as dominant as he has, in his previous fights. In the post-fight interview, not in the ring, but on the way to the locker room, he got caught with an interview from some guy, and he stated that he could have made this an easy fight just by staying on the outside, but he wanted to, give the fans an exciting fight. So he went in there, and there were some moments in the fight he stood toe to toe with Maidana, and he looked not as dominant. You know what I'm saying? But end of the day, this is one of those fights where I really need to go back. I've only seen the fight just once, obviously, but this is one of those fights where I could clearly go back and rewatch it. The first time you watch a fight as close as this, it's like watching a movie for the first time. Sometimes you have to go back and rewatch a movie, to catch some things you might have missed. You know what I'm saying? So this is clearly one of those fights where, you know, some things might change. You know what I'm saying? If you go back and rewatch it, with the sound off, you know what I'm saying? I highly, highly disagree with the 117-111. Some people scored this fight a draw. It's very debatable. And they're talking about a rematch, and I'm going to say this. I don't think the rematch is going to happen. I mean, I feel that Marcos Maidana truly deserves a rematch, but I just don't think it's going to happen. Um, I'm not really sure what else Floyd could do at this point. even though he's getting close to the end of his career, there's still some very serious competition at welterweight. Um, Welterweight is so unbelievably stacked. Okay, we're not even talking about the guys that's coming up, from 140, from 147. You got Danny Garcia going up to welterweight pretty soon. I hear Lamont Peterson talking about it. um, you got some new up and comers like Keith Thurman, Sean Porter. You still got on the HBO side. You still got Tim Bradley, Manny Pacquiao. That's just 4 fighters right there. You know what I'm saying? So with 3 fights left, I'm not even really sure what Floyd could do to really silence the critics. It seems like at this point, no matter what he does, I mean, people are going to criticize him anyway. You know what I'm saying? But to me, there's just way too much competition, and with only 3 fights left, I mean, there's clearly not much he could do at this point. I wouldn't even really be upset if he retires at this point. He stated that he's going to fight again in September. I just don't think a rematch is going to happen. I'm gonna have to put some serious thought into who the next opponent's going to be. I'm really curious about it. But yeah, it was a very good fight. You guys let me know what you think. I'm probably going to rewatch it, do another video. Might do another. I'm probably going to do a collab video on this fight. But I'm actually going to do a post fight video to the Broner fight, the American fight. So you guys stay tuned for that. But I'm going to rewatch this fight when I can, and I might give a different perspective on it. But yeah, I had Floyd Mayweather winning this fight 116-112. I know some people might disagree, but it's just like I said. Anytime when you have a close fight, a really close fight, people's gonna have different assumptions. And I was hearing Maidana's corner, his family members saying they thought he won the fight. Well, I mean, if the fight is close, of course they're gonna think Maidana won the fight. You know what I'm saying? And if they interview Floyd Mayweather's camp or his family, of course they're going to think, he won the fight. So, end of the day, it was just a close fight. It's just one of those situations where, people are just going to have their own assumptions about it. You know what I'm saying? Unless you could clearly knock the motherfucker out, which, didn't happen in this fight. So, at the end of the day, Maidana's got nothing to be ashamed of. He clearly held his head high in this fight. But other than that, I think it was a great fight. I'm really looking forward to the Marquez Alvarado fight. We got Canelo versus Lara coming up, Stavern and Arreola coming up. So I still think boxing is pretty popping right now. But that's all I got. Let me know what you guys think. Peace out.